Hi, this is Brenda and welcome to the class. We're going to learn how to use Adobe InDesign, but remember that you have to somehow practice a little bit about Photoshop and Illustrator because the combination of these three software is going to help you to create really amazing and creative proposals. So the first step is to open Adobe InDesign. How can you recognize it on the Creative Cloud? The Creative Cloud is the one that I have right here at the top. You're going to find out that there are different apps that you can download. As a suggestion, take advantage that you have the opportunity to download all of them. And if you want to try, to practice a little bit or to try a new one like Premiere for making videos is a good choice. So we're going to have all of this. In my case, I have this one up to date and this one too. If you see an update available, try to update it at night, once you're not using the computer, because usually they show you, improvements of bugs, new tools or something like that. So Adobe InDesign is this one, the one that has the pink icon, okay? Pink and purplish color. Now, this is different from InDesign, from Illustrator and Photoshop, because in this one, you're capable to design books, electronic publications, interactive PDFs. You can do magazines, and the main difference is that in Photoshop, you can retouch photos. In Illustrator, you can create illustration. And here you can make a combination of both software. That means that because they belong to the same family of Adobe, you're capable to be mixing and importing and placing and pasting things that come from other software from Adobe, okay? Now, before Adobe InDesign exists, there was a software called PageMaker. And if I'm not wrong, another one was called a Quark Express. They used to do the same thing, but they belong to a company named Macromedia. I'm talking like 15 years ago, maybe 15, 18 years ago. And Adobe has grown so much that they have been buying some software and they have improved them. So first step, we're going to open the software. Then we're going to find out that we have this option. As you can see, there are different sizes that we can use depending on the project that we're going to do. It is important to have like a notion or an idea of how it's going to be used, if it's going to be digital, if it's going to be printed, or maybe maybe you want to do a draft. Sometimes it's better to do it in the original preset of the artboard from the beginning, so it doesn't take that much time to do, the improvements or to do the modifications that are required. So, recent means like the last ones that were used, in my case. Saved in case you create a new one that you're going to be constantly using in the future. For example, maybe you work for a magazine and they have already a structure, in the artboard, and they have some specific size. Print, if you're going to print it. As you can see here, there are some options that are available in America and Europe and of course Asia. And the ones that you see right here just below are templates. That means that they are already available for you. If you want to do something, something that is fast, I am open and I believe that it's good to use them because they're going to save you time. But if you want to create something new for a company, for your brand, the main goal is to create it by, from zero. So if you're going to use a template, it's okay. They have some structure and ideas that are going to be really helpful, but try to put always something that comes from your brain and your ideas, okay? Now, web, you can design a web page or portfolio from InDesign. That's why they have all these options. As you can see, here they have different sizes. As a suggestion, remember that all computers lately, they have really high resolution, so this one is going to be a good option. Avoid using letter, A4, legal, because those are defined for printing, okay? And the last one, but not the least, mobile. If you want to do something for iPhone, for Samsung, Pixel, whatever is available in Android world, here you're going to find it. So at the beginning, you need to have an idea how you're going to use it, okay? So for today example and exercise, we're going to use print. We're going to select letter. As you can see on the right side, right here, the options are available to Illustrator. That means that you can select the size, you can select even the the metrics and units that are going to be used. For example, in United States, it's commonly used inches. In Mexico, centimeters. Here in Germany, we usually use inches as well. Now, we're going to select letter in inches so we can confirm that is the size that we are going to use. We're going to place 3 pages. To place it, double click it and then type down 3. Start. What does that mean, start? That means if you're going to start from page number 1 or if it's another chapter from a book. For example, you're creating a book and the book has 10 chapters. Maybe, I don't know, the chapter number 1 ends in page 13. So here you can define 14 and so on, because they need to know the position that is going to be placed. You know, when you open a book, you have even and odd numbers. So you have to be defining, for example, this is going to be page number 2, this is going to be page number 3, this one is going to be page number 4. Always try to keep a sample if you're going to print it, you know, in paper, so you can have in your mind like in what position is going to be located the information. We always start in page number 1. Page number 1 is going to be the cover in case you're going to print it or in case you are going to do an electronic publication, okay? So we're going to start in this case, number 1. Facing pages, what does that mean? I'm going to share with you with an example. So this is a book, okay? As you can see, I'm learning German. This is page number 1. This is page number 4. This is usually called in Spanish, portada, contraportada. Or, primera de forros, cuarta de forros, okay? Page number 2 is always going to be the one that is right here. And page number 3, here. When you are talking about covers, not the inside of the book. Now, if you do all of it in one file, this is going to be page number 1, page number 2, page number 3, 4, and so on. Now, what does facing pages mean? If you want to have one page at the side of the other one, or if you want to have just one page, just like this, just one page. So for today, in the example, we're going to use facing pages so we can have an idea, okay? Columns means the division that you're going to have. You have used it before in Word, probably. For now, we're going to keep it with 1. Column gutter is the separation that you have between 2 columns, okay? In Spanish, it's called medianil. I have to share it with you in Spanish as well, because if you're going to print something in Mexico, they are going to request, you know, the information in Spanish, and it's medianil. Medianil is the distance that you have between 2 columns. Margins is the separation that you have from the paper. Why this is important? I'm going to share it right here. I know that I am small, but you are going to get the idea. Is the distance that you're going to have, you know, from the information to the border of the paper. Now, this is important because if you leave a small space, you know, the text is going to be really close to the border, and probably when they cut the paper, it's going to be cut as well. So usually the margins that are outside, like this one, and this one, they are small, and the one that is inside is bigger, because as you are folding it, as you can see here, you need more space and separation, so you don't crack it like I just did. Now, for today's example and exercise, we're going to keep it in the number that I have right here. In case you don't have it and you don't like the number, you can type a new one if you have a favorite number. Now, the chain that we have right here, this is the lock. This is going to help us to have the same number in the 4 positions, you know? The top, the bottom, the inside is the one that is going to be here when it's folded, and the outside. So, if you want to have a different margin, remember that you have to unlock. For example, maybe in the inside, instead of 0.5 inches, you want to have 1 inch, okay? And instead of the bottom to have the same like the top, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to make this difference so you can see how it's going to be defined the paper, okay? So let's confirm. I have letter, I have to exercise 1. I'm going to name it. The size is in inches, so you can get, you know, to know how the inches work in real life. The position is going to be vertical. how many pages? 3 is going to start the page number 1 and the columns and so on. Once you have all this information, please click Create. In my case, my computer is a little bit slow today, but I hope yours is faster. So we're going to have this workspace for you to work with. Now, in case you see more tools or less tools, it depends on how are the presets of the software that you have already installed. If you want to have all the tools available, it's really easy. Please, let's go to the window option at the top, workspace, and here you're going to find out that the software gives you an idea how is going to be the preset working. If you're going to do a book, if you're going to do a digital publishing, or if you're going to do an interactive. Why they have this all separated? Because if you're going to do a book, there is no need to have buttons, right? Because a button is not going to work in a printed book or magazine. But probably if you're going to do a digital publishing that you are going to include hyperlinks, you need to have those presets already available. So to have today all the elements and all the tools available, please click where it says Essential Classics. And now you're going to have all the tools that you can see here. The windows, they work exactly the same as Photoshop and Illustrator. That means that you can close them and that you can define the ones that work for you. In my case, I usually use only this. That's why I have them. But probably in your case, you're going to have more options available, okay? And it's okay, don't worry. That doesn't mean that yours is good and mine is better. It depends on the project that you're going to use and how you're going to use it, okay? Now, the toolbar is going to be located right here on the left side. The tool is similar to Illustrator. That means that we have the area for selection, the artboards. We have how we're going to place information, text and line. The difference that we can see between InDesign and Illustrator is that the pen tool doesn't have that much options like we have seen in Illustrator. And remember, if you want to do an illustration, InDesign is not the option, okay? Now, what else do we have here? Remember that I selected 3 pages, right? That's why I have 3 pages. That means that you're capable to move along here. Some of the tools are similar, like in Illustrator. If you press spacebar, you're capable to move between the pages. Remember that you just have to hold it and drag it. Now, take a look to the inside margin, to the bottom margin. And here, for example, like I just mentioned before, usually this is bigger, so you can have a space, you know, when you are like opening the book, you're capable to read it. Now, what else do we have? Let's go to the file menu. Here we're going to have the same options that we have in Illustrator. That means that here we can save it. Here you can export, you can place an image or a photo that you have from the web or wherever you're working with. Maybe you have it in your folder in your desktop. Now, the new thing that was included in 2016, probably 17, 16, is the Publish Online and Publish Online dashboard. Why? Because usually when you're designing something and you want to share it, automatically you can do it in Acrobat Reader, for example. You can upload it to a web page. This is new, and this is something that was like include like an improvement, okay? And the other thing that is included is something that is called package. And this is important because package is going to put all the elements all together, like for example, text, photos, information of illustration, and is going to put everything into a folder. You don't have to do anything, but we are going to get to that in a couple of minutes, okay? So first step, saving. Please go to File and then select Save. The shortcut, if you have a Mac, is Command S. If you have a PC, Control S, okay? That's the shortcut. I prefer using shortcuts, but today is the first class, so I'm going to introduce you where you can find, for example, all the functions. When you save it, you're going to have these 2 options, the InDesign document and the template. The difference is that the document is going to be individually and you're going to have one, and that's it. The template is going to help you to have it like a base for the following publications that you're going to do in the future. This is commonly used in magazines or in editorial publishing, companies, because they usually have like the same size of paper, the same size of margins and definition of the style of the book or magazine they're going to be publishing. And then we have the InDesign CS4 or later. This is good in case you're going to work with a previous software, you know, the ones that were released in 2010, 2000, or even if you want to open it on PageMaker or Quark Express. And this is good. I mean, this format, IDML, is going to help you to open it in another software that is not Adobe InDesign. So first of all, select where you're going to save it. In my case, I'm going to save it here. I'm going to create a new folder, InDesign course. And I'm going to save it at exercise 1. Now, if you want to share this file, remember that the person that is going to receive the file needs to have Adobe InDesign. If they have another one, they're not going to be capable to open it. That means that Adobe Illustrator can open InDesign, but there are some spots that are going to be missing. Adobe Photoshop can open it, but the best software to open an InDesign file is an InDesign software. Okay? Now, what else do we have? On this side, I have these options. If you don't have them, remember that they are floating windows. That means that if we want to get them, we need to go to the top menu where it says Window, and here we're going to have all of them. Please, for now, I need you to have the one that is called Pages, this one. I need you to have the one that is called Layers, Links, Color, and Swatches, okay? So this is just a brief introduction about Adobe InDesign. Take a look, for example, how you can move. If you don't like to use the hand, for example, you can use the trackpad in your computer and you can move along the pages. Now, one important thing, this works like Illustrator. If you place a photo, we're going to do the exercise before I finish this video. Let's open Chrome, and I don't know, the browser that you prefer, Firefox or Chrome, they work perfect. We're going to download a photo, okay? So anytime when you need it, please pause the video, download it, and then continue. I'm trying not to do this too fast, so you have the time, you know, to make a pause, to look whatever we're going to be using or needing. So I'm going to type down here. I'm today into dog's mood, so I'm going to type down dog. And remember, every time you download something from the web, they usually have rights. For learning, we're going to use these images, but for real life, please download them from sites that they offer the pictures for you to use, you know, as a practice in design. So I'm going to look for big ones, and I'm going to use this one. Now, remember that every time you download an image from the web, at the corner, you're going to see the size. In this case, is 1200 pixels. So it's not so bad to save it. Remember that you can hold it, save image as, and then select the folder where you already have it. So let me, in my case, if I'm not wrong, I have it here. It says that is royalty-free JPEG. This is important. The formats that you can place in InDesign, there are a lot. You can place vectorials, JPG, PSD, TIFF, you can even place PDF, you can place BMP, that means bitmap, GIF, because you can place even videos. If you're going to do an electronic publication, you can include MP4s, MP3s, and for sound, you can place AV and .mov. So in this case, I'm going to download this one. And now, let's go to InDesign. You can pause in case you need more time, okay? I'm going back to InDesign. Here it is. How can we place a photo? File, place, or the shortcut, Command D, Control D if you have a PC. You have to look for the image. Remember to keep organized where you are saving the files and where you're placing all the documents, because it's going to help you to have an easy access to all of them, okay? So I'm going to select this one. And this is going to happen. The difference is that you're going to be capable to see the image. Now, if you just click and release, the image is going to become bigger. Remember that it was in pixels, right? Now, if you want to make it smaller, this is going to happen. It makes a frame, okay? because we're talking about publishing editorial images, okay? So if you want to make this smaller, you have to press, let me hold it here again, un segundito. You can press Command or Control if you have a PC. And depending on how you want to use it, for example, you can adapt it to this area. Now, why this is important? Let me place it here and here. You can always exceed the area of the artboard in case you're going to print it and you don't want to have the white borders, okay? And that's what is called bleed, okay? That extra that you have outside the paper is going to help you, like when they cut it, there is no white space that is going to be available. You are going to have a picture. Now, I'm going to get closer here. You can see this icon. This means that is an image that is linked to the document, okay? When you get to the corner, let me make this one smaller because I forgot doing this, the bottom side. When you see the frame, that means that you're selecting the complete object like this. To undo is Command Z. Remember that we're talking about a frame, something that is contained inside. This picture is contained inside a rectangular frame. So if I just want to have one part of it, I can do this, okay? And just as we have seen in Illustrator, you can come from the bottom, and as you can see, this is going to transform the size of the frame, not the size of the photo. And of course, you can rotate it. It works usually like as we have seen in Illustrator, okay? So I'm going to place it here. So this is how you place an image. Now, why I requested to have all of this open? Let's take a look. Here we have the file that is called link. Usually in this window, you're going to see all the pictures. In case you're missing one, you're going to see here a sign that is going to tell you, interrogation sign, like, where is it? I can't find it. The software is really helpful. If we make a comparison from the other software, just as at the bottom, where it says no errors, the software is going to tell you if you made a mistake or not. What could be considered a mistake? A photo or a link that is missing, that there is text that can't be seen because the box is not open completely, that a font is not available in that computer where you open the file, that the text is overlapping another one. So as you can see, the software is really, really friendly. So what else do we have in links? We have the information, the file name. They show you, for example, the format, if it's JPG and so on, and the page location, like this, okay? So this is good to always keep an eye, so you can confirm, like, okay, all my files are included here and we have no problem. And just to finish it, because I don't want to make it really long videos, how can we save this? We have seen already, file, save, right? This is like the easy access. As a suggestion, try to do it every 10-15 minutes because you want to save everything you're doing. And then if you want to share this to a friend, that is going to be working with you in in a project, how can you share it with the font and the text and so on? We're going to start with images, okay? You need to go to the top menu, File, and then let me move my face. File, and then select where it says Package. Package, imagine like in Spanish, empaquetado. It's going to put all the files all together. Right now, the only information that we have placed is the photo. So it's going to tell me with this warning, links and images, one link found, nothing has been modified, nothing is missing, and so on. This is the good thing about InDesign. It's telling you you're doing a good job, or it's telling you, something is missing, something is wrong, keep an eye on it. So once we have this, we're going to do it the simple way right now, and then we're going to complicate it a little bit more, okay? This is the first one, the first video. Click Package. Take a look to this, exercise 1 folder. It's going to create a new folder. About the options that we have here, If we have a text, it's going to copy the font. If we have graphics, for example, that we have made in Illustrator, it's going to make a copy of them. It's going to make an update of the links in the packaging. It's going to include this file to, in case someone else has PageMaker or another software. The PDF print automatically is going to create you a PDF that you can share to validate with your boss, with your colleagues, with your family and friends in case you want to share it. Okay? So click Package, and here you have it. Now, I'm going to go to my desktop so we can take a look to the InDesign course. And here you have the folder. Okay? This is the one that you can share to your friend. Okay? It's going to have the format for working in another software, the InDesign software, and the PDF. And as you can see, it's going to show you the first page and these two. So for now, that's the first exercise. If you have any questions or doubts about the videos, please write me an email. You already know my email, and I'll be glad to help you. So see you on the following video, okay?